Q-Series, CRJ series, and the C-Series leave us well positioned to capture large shares in both of the markets we've just described, with new technology, with the right aircraft, with the right economics, well positioned. We see a very bright future.
The photos. It looks better, yeah. From the outside, for sure.
Beautiful shots here.
For sure, for sure.
I understand you have a Collins FMS.
Rockwell Collins FMS.
Yeah, okay.
It's Rockwell Collins Suite.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Everything is integrated.
Yeah, that's the thing now. You know, you can't have this and that. You know, it's so integrated.
Well, you know, Airbus integrated the Honeywell FMS into the 350 cockpit. So.
Yeah. Is
Okay.
Tell me, is the lighting of the screen okay for you guys? Can you see
You
that?
can turn up a bit.
That's what I was just. That was a question, really, eh?
Yeah, because the control light
Is that a little better?
excellent, brilliant.
Okay.
I turn them up here?
Yeah, just to.
The plane.
Well, I've been involved in it right from the design phase. So for me, it's like, you know, it's a developmental thing. And finally, I get to play with the toys. I spent so long helping to design it from a pilot point of view. And the pilots, not only myself, but quite a few pilots were involved in what does a pilot want. And it's a little bit of a cliche to say this, but you know, from a pilot point of view, it's designed by pilots. You know, it's for pilots. You know, so it's from a, and now to fly it, to see the final product, it's so satisfying. You know, it's so easy. The flight across from Mirabel on Friday, it was just a routine flight.
7.5 hours?
Yeah. So I've been working for Bombardier for 10 years. My history, my background prior to that was airline. I moved to Canada 10 years ago for personal reasons. Got a job with Bombardier. I started off in their training department, worked in their training department. 4 years ago I was given the opportunity to move on to the CSeries program. Now, as you know, at that time there was no airplanes built or flying, of course. And at that stage what we were doing was a total clean sheet of paper. So we had the opportunity, and it was a unique opportunity for me as an airline pilot to give my input as to what an airline pilot wants, particularly to do with the flight deck, the instrumentation, the presentation, the man-machine interface, if you like. And we had many hot and heavy philosophical debates, almost arguments, if you like. Now also, a lot of my background has been training and examining pilots, so I want particularly to have an aeroplane that's easy to train, and I want systems on board the aeroplane that pilots will remember how to use, and so when they're doing check rides, they're doing good on normal light flights. Now, this is my first program, and not too many airline pilots like myself get the opportunity, fantastic opportunity I have to say, to be involved in such an early stage. So by Bombardier bringing pilots in very early on, it meant that the design of the aeroplane molded and moved along in the right direction very early. Instead of having to train a pilot to overcome shortcomings of a system, we could convince the engineers to design the system in such a way that the pilot would understand it. And as I say, I'm not an engineer, I'm an airline pilot, and if I can understand it, then the average airline pilot will understand it. Well, this aeroplane is a working flight test vehicle. It looks beautiful, it's got a nice Swiss paint job, but it's still a workhorse. So today we're flying this airplane up to Zurich. Obviously the Swiss colours, we've got a big presentation up there for Swiss. That's going to be exciting. Tomorrow we're on the ground all day there. Friday back to Mirabel. Saturday it's right back to work again, back as a workhorse, and then I think we've got crews flying on Saturday, Sunday, flight testing, and then I'm back in the flight test program on Monday, and then hard at it again. Well, the commonality between the 100 and 300 first, they are really identical aeroplanes. Every system in the flight deck, there's absolutely no difference at all. Same hydraulics, same fuel, same electrical, same engines, everything's the same. The only difference is the 300 is a little bit longer and a little bit heavier. We can carry an extra 20 odd passengers. So absolutely the same type rating, and pilots will hop out of one, hop into the other, and there'll be no difference at all. It's totally the same aeroplane. Well, it's interesting because take a typical Airbus pilot coming from, say, a 319 onto this aeroplane. He will understand the fly-by-wire, the side-stick nature of the aeroplane, so he will have an advantage from that point of view. If you take the typical Boeing pilot coming from a Boeing philosophy type aeroplane, he will have other advantages. So the training will be more emphasized on the differences between the two. And what we're looking at doing, this is a very, very easy aeroplane to fly and understand. That's, you know, why we came on board 4 years ago. So we really firmly believe that the training on this aeroplane is going to be really, really easy.